What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video preview. Today we're going to take a look at SyLvie and Loki from the TV show Loki from Disney Plus, and you can pre-order both of these figures when they're available at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll make sure I'll put the link down below whenever it's available. What can I say about these two figures? So I put them together in one video because I feel like they go hand in hand. They look good, man. Like, the head sculpt is amazing. Everything else is amazing about these figures. However, I feel like you gotta be, and I know someone who's a hardcore Loki fan. His name is Will. He is a hardcore Loki fan, and I feel like this kind of caters to that. Or unless you really love the show. I like the show. I didn't love the show. So, and the figure, even though it's good, mainly the head sculpt, right? I don't put them in the category that I need to have, even though I like the show. There are certain figures that I've gotten that I haven't even seen the show, mainly Cody and Rex. I just felt that the value was always there, and they just stand out. I don't feel the same way with SyLvie, and that's me watching the show and actually liking the show. She didn't wow me as a figure, at least from a collector's perspective. Now, if you have certain attachment to SyLvie, I get that. You know, I mean, I buy Asmus, Lord of the Rings, and Star Ace, so because I have certain connections to those figures, and I know that Hot Toys is not going to make them. So I totally get that. I'm speaking from I guess a casual fan of SyLvie and Loki. I wanted the Loki in my collection, and that's most likely going to be the Avengers version. I still have a Loki here, which is the Dark World one, not the Dark World one, the Ragnarok one, which, because he does have the helmet, and I felt like that was a good representation of Loki at the time, but I always felt like it was the Avengers. Now, this alternate look of Loki, very specific, you know, and SyLvie as well. Are we going to see SyLvie, more of them? Perhaps, because I know they got re-up for Loki season 2. So, but does that mean they are gonna change their outfits? Most likely, right? Or maybe just minute here and there. Maybe not too wild of a change. So, but again, I guess I just didn't had the same connection as Will does have with the character. But if this was something like, for example, you know, Clark Kent in a suit, I would have bought it instantly, you know, even though most people would just say, hey, he's just a guy in a suit. But as far as the figure itself for SyLvie, she's not bad. She looks pretty good, you know. The head sculpt, the accessories that it comes with, it's actually pretty decent. I think the head sculpt is phenomenal. And then you get this cloak. I suppose that's what you're gonna call this. The stand is pretty standard. The accessories is, you know, standard again. If I have to guess the price, I would say around $270, if not lower, maybe $265, somewhere in the category of Scarlet Witch. I would say, even though I feel like Scarlet is a better value, but she has more accessories though. So, I guess those two green things are attached to her hands. So that's interesting. So you don't have to attach it and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, figure-wise, it looks great. Just great, you know. It's just not, and I guess the difference between this and Rex and Cody is I would say the armor factor, because they're wearing armors and they just look cool. At least to me, that's why I bought them. At least Cody, even though not watching a single episode of Clone Wars, and even you can make an argument he was in the Star Wars movie, but you know, didn't really particularly like that either. But didn't hate it, didn't love it. You know, that's what I was trying to say. As far as this Loki, man, the head sculpt is on point, I feel like. It kind of reminds you of, and me and Will were like, you know, messaging back and forth. I told him I think the sculpt looks phenomenal, and he said it kind of reminds him of Dark World. I think it's a cross between Dark World and Ragnarok, which is good. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I like the fact that, you know, the hairline is more accurate. I feel like, you know, he's aged in here, which is, you know, rightfully so. He's aged now. You can see the wrinkles on his face. I just feel like it has more textures. Like, it does have more details on the face. And I do like the fact that the hair is kind of messy at the bottom, which is, and it looks great. You know, it doesn't need to be rooted hair. The way they sculpted his hair, I think, is phenomenal. Even with SyLvie, you saw SyLvie how they sculpted that hair. I think it's phenomenal. Now, does the effects comes in hand as well? It seems like it, right? I don't know how else they're gonna do it. He comes with a nice amount of accessories. Now, I already am hearing it on my head. Most complaints are gonna be because of his joints in his elbows. Well, there's a solution for that. Put a jacket on. All right. If you don't want to put the jacket on, kind of pull the sleeves down. If you are, taking a picture of him, or if you're just posing him, if you bend the arms, you won't see the joints in a more concealed way, like this one. If you just kind of pull that a little bit more, the left hand arm, you don't even see the joint. So I don't see that an issue whatsoever. I would rather take the articulation, because this Loki, having his suit right now, the way his outfit is, its fabric, you do want him in several poses where he could move freely. If you make it seamless arms, what, for like a little bit of joint showing, I won't trade that off. He's not like a guy who's always sleeveless. Again, like I said, does he look better without the jacket? You can make that argument. Yes, I would say so. But at the same time, like if you pose him strategically like this, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Like it's all about concealing those joints, and I think you can do them perfectly if you just play your cards right. Now, as far as him adding to your collection, he's very specific, meaning he's on this show. So if you have like the end game display, it won't work. It won't work. So again, this type of collectible is geared towards the fan of the show, obviously, and somebody who loves Loki. Well, this kind of post, this post right here is not working. Well, this is good. I like that mirror on the back, and I cut this because the audio, because I'm talking to Will, and he has problems with the head sculpt. This guys who love these characters is so critical with this head sculpts. It's funny. With PJ, he's killing Ahsoka, and I know he loves Ahsoka. Now Will's killing Loki, and I think this head sculpt is terrific. I like this accessory, by the way. This is pretty cool. But yeah, if anything, no one's gonna buy this because of how it, the outfit. It is generic. A third party can do this with, maybe not like this, but because their things are kind of baggy to begin with. But look at that head sculpt. It is damn good. Is it just me? I'm not even a huge fan, and I acknowledge the fact that this is a very solid, really good head sculpt. I think so. The accessories is pretty nice as well. I like those hands, and the what do you call that? The time vortex, whatever you want to call them. But it is cool. But yeah, man, these guys, I swear to God, like Will, he's saying it's a solid 8.5. Do you guys agree with that? Let me know in the comments down below. It's not a solid 8.5. I think it's like a 9. Or 9, even a 9.5. It's not perfect. It's really hard to get something that's perfect, but it's pretty close to being perfect, in my opinion. What could they make different? I don't. You know what? I rarely score 10 anyway, so that's probably as high as you could go. Maybe 9.7. All right, I'll put a 9.7 on this. Maybe the jaw is a little, I don't know, man, but it's pretty darn good. It's good. With the Loki Ragnarok, they're complaining about the cheeks. It's a bit soggy or whatever. He looks like a chubby face or whatever. Again, fine. But this, I don't know. I think it is pretty darn good. So, yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Well, let me know in the comments what you think about these two figures. Are you going to get them, pass on them? I most likely pass. I'm like, and nothing against the figures. It's just that, it just doesn't go well with my end game line, because that's kind of like where I'm going now with Marvel. But thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. And become a member if you're not yet, because I always post videos in there. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.